I was kind of putting words in your mouth, and I didn't mean to be, because you said you didn't do it. You didn't ask her the way I did, but no. when you finally, whatever way you ask it, whenever you said, "Hey, Casey, it doesn't really make sense either which way. Why tell the police a different story?" What did she say to that? To your question there.
Again, we never had that. I never did the whole, this doesn't make sense, why you would tell them that story and that story. That conversation never happened. So I can't answer that question. But I know what you're trying to say, to try to find out, if you're being instructed to not say something about somebody, whatever. And, Casey said that she told them she said what she said in order to, she felt like she wasn't breaking what she was instructed to do by telling her, whatever it was. So, I don't know.
Did you follow up, or did you just let it just, because you seem like a detective to me.
Yeah.
Did you follow up, and did that satisfy you, that explanation?
There's nothing in this world at this point that can satisfy me in regards to any of this. There's point blank. If Caylee was brought home safe, is the only thing that would ever have satisfied me ever. So that's.
Did you ever follow up or push her though and say, "Wait a minute, come on, you told the police this, now you tell me this, but it's still that it doesn't really matter"?
Casey has been steadfast in telling me that Zenaida Fernandez Gonzales, by the person that I described, is the person that took Caylee. And I'm following that from her. I'm following that. It does not mean that I'm not following my own gut instincts on things, or not following what other people are telling me, or whatever. At that time and to this day, in order, it was to find my niece, I'm willing to hear anybody's side if it made sense.
I don't want to beat this dead horse. I only ask, but did you ever push her on the issue of what difference did it make, whether it was at Sawgrass?
I never made that. I never said that. No.
Let me ask another question, just easy. That day that she was going to Blanchard Park, where did she? While she was dropping her off, where was she going? Where did she tell you she was going that day?
Like after she dropped her off?
Yeah. What were her plans prior to, her grabbing her by the arm, and what were her plans that day?
I just assumed going to work. I never really asked her what she was planning on doing prior to that day.
What time did she drop her off at Blanchard Park?
Around lunchtime. Between 12 and 2 at some point. I can't remember.
Would her work start after lunch?
It could. I would think that there could be plenty of, potential job or shifts.
Did you ever ask Casey, and I don't want to get into what she told you, but did you ever ask Casey, look, if something happened as an accident and that you accidentally, or something happened to Caylee and she accidentally passed away, tell us that. Have you ever asked her that question?
I'm going to object. Ask you
can answer it. Go ahead. Did you ever ask that question?
No, I would instruct you not to answer that question at this time.
And again, we think these are.
If you want to go before Judge Rodriguez, you can. And we can argue it out, but just at this time,
I understand. I respect that.
Well, I don't, because I don't think it's proper.
Well, I'm not answering that question because I don't think it's relevant at all. Period.
I think the fact.
Look, go ahead.
I think the fact that you're not answering answers.
Let's just move
on. So she's at Blanchard Park, and she's told. Did she tell her, "I'm taking your child until you hear from me again"?
I don't even think she gave her the time at that point, but it was more just, I'm taking her, to teach you a lesson. You will get her back. Just, follow my instructions. And then, I don't know.
And that's the time that she told her, and if you try to find me.
Exactly. Or, if you try to find me, if you go to the police or, if you go to the authorities, then that's when she threatened.
So Caylee knew there at Blanchard Park that Caylee would not be coming home that night.
Sure. I mean, she could assumed, I don't know how long she thought that she was going to be gone at that point. I have no idea. I don't know if they had that conversation about this whole time.
Did she tell you that she tried to stop Zenaida from taking the child?
Well, that was a question that I asked her. I said I would think I would know you, and you'd probably be fist fighting people.
Right.
I would be
in the park,
right? And Casey said that
Did she have a gun? I'm sorry.
Yeah. Can you answer?
Let me answer.
I apologize.
The first question, then you can answer the second one.
Casey said that she was so shocked of what was happening, and that she didn't know how to react, and that she thought it just was. It was like surreal to her, that moment was even happening. So,
what did she say the sister was doing when this was going on?
Taking the kids to the vehicle, if not, getting into the vehicle at that point.
So you're telling us today that she told you she did absolutely nothing to stop Zenaida Gonzales from taking Caylee that day from the park?
Is that a yes?
That was what was relayed to me, yes.
Did she try to say to her, please don't take my baby? Did she try to talk her out of it?
I'm sure.
Did she tell you that?
No.
You don't know that, then?
I don't know.
Did you ask her, did you say, please don't take my baby?
I did not ask her that, no.
Because you said a minute ago, and we all know our sisters. I know my sister, and if you try to take one of my sister's kids, you're probably going to have to do it with a .44 revolver. And you said that the Casey that you would have envisioned in a fist fight before she'd have let this person take her child away. But she did nothing that day.
That's what I said was correct.
Did you ask her why didn't you?
I already answered that. She said it felt surreal to her. She didn't know how to react. She didn't know what to do.
Knowing your sister the way you do, did that make sense to you?
Yes and no. I mean, I don't know. See, that's the thing. When I say I know my sister, I can say that because I know how I would react. I'm a lot like my sister as far as how we would react.
Yeah.
And the fact is, from an outside perspective, I would think that I would be fighting to the death at that very moment.
I agree.
And I assume that, I would assume that my sister would do the same thing. But I've never been in that situation. I pray that no one gets in that situation. I could react the exact same way if I was put in that situation and just be in stasis and not know what to do or how to move and just be in shock. That could definitely be the situation if I was put in that perspective. So I can't judge that because I've never been there. You know what I mean? So I didn't. This whole time, it's about trying to make my sister feel comfortable so she can remember everything, tell me everything so I can find my niece. So I will placate to everything and anything that I need to do. And if it doesn't make sense to press, I'm sure as hell not going to press.
Did you ask her, because obviously it didn't make sense to you, and you weren't pressing, but then you had to ask this question, because I know the question I would ask my sister. Did Zenaida Gonzales have a gun?
I didn't ask that question, and I had no reason to think that she did.
Did she have any kind of weapon?
I have no reason to think that. I've not been told anything.
The only thing she had was the threat.
Could have been. I don't know.
You never heard? She never told you that?
Never been
The
told
only
that.
thing
No.
that she had to stop her child from leaving and getting another car was the threat.
was the threat.